Hello everyone, my name is Puvendran and today I'll be discussing on the 5 key takeaways from the Management of Information Systems Outsourcing course. So what are the 5 key takeaways? They are strategic intent, vendor selection, contractual agreement, transition phase and vendor evaluation. So during the strategic assessment phase, the organization will need to determine its core competency, and from there it can more or less decide what are the areas that it can or cannot outsource based on its needs. It will also need to determine its level of outsourcing, such as is it from a short-term intent, is it from a strategic intent or a transformational intent. So once the organization has more or less determined what it wants to outsource, the next step will be to select a vendor. So during this phase, a RFI, request for information, could be sent to assess the marketplace for potential vendors, and after which a RFP, request for proposal, and RFQ, request for quotation, could be sent to solicit the appropriate proposals and the requisite costings. So once a vendor has been selected, the next phase will be contractual agreement. As selecting a vendor is akin to selecting a spouse, there must be realistic expectations met, and the winner's curse must be avoided at all costs. So the key things to include in the contract are service level agreements, pricing models, how the resources will be acquired, any incentives or penalties, and non-disclosure agreements. So the next phase after this will be the transition phase, where there's the most amount of risks. So during this phase, there could be key employees who leave the organization, the vendors could not have access to skilled resources or expertise, there could be loss of confidential data from the client's side. So to mitigate such risks, there needs to be a proper transition management plan that has management support and buy-in. And finally, to ensure that the vendor is performing up to mark based on the agreements in the contract, KPI tools such as outsourcing scorecard can be used. So the outsourcing scorecard is based on 4 quadrants of service quality, relationship, strategy and finance. How this class can be further enhanced is the groups can be further divided into client and vendors, and clients with a predefined budget and vendors with a revenue target. From there, the groups can work with each other and across other groups to utilize what they have learned, such as relationship, strategy, pricing, and even negotiations, and present their findings in class. This class has definitely shaped my perception of outsourcing, from viewing it from a top-down approach of client to vendor to more of an equal partnership where the client and vendors perform on equal footing and on a win-win principle. Thank you very much.